Welcome to Stephen Frankie's eMTB Adventures. Today we're going to check out my top 5 dream e-bikes of 2022. While we all agree that most of these e-bikes are way overpriced, let's just pretend in today's episode that money isn't an issue. So with that being said, let's continue on to our countdown. Coming in at number 5 is the all-new 2022 Santa Cruz Heckler Carbon CC AXS RSV MX. Oh, wow. A whole list of things. So the MX is a mullet setup. The cost of this particular model is $13,299 MSRP. Combined with the Shimano EP8 with the battery of 720 watt hour, travel of 160 front, 150 rear, and the suspension of RockShox Super Deluxe Ultimate paired up with the Fox 36 factory up front and weighing in at 48.6 pounds. The drivetrain, of course, is a SRAM X01 AXS and the dropper with a Fox Transfer Performance Elite. This particular model also comes with the Santa Cruz Reserve wheels, which is pretty slick carbon wheels. The best thing about the Santa Cruz is that they have a lifetime warranty for their carbon frames because they make all their own carbon frames, and a lifetime warranty for their carbon wheels. What makes this Santa Cruz Heckler one of my dream bikes is that their previous version, a lot of people had a whole bunch of complaints and everybody had doubts about Santa Cruz making their first e-bike, but after their first version of the Heckler and their Bullet being built up, they've learned from their mistakes and just improved on this Heckler, which makes it a dream bike for me. I've never owned a Santa Cruz before, and everyone that rode a Santa Cruz has been telling me that Santa Cruz is just an awesome bike. And I really love the design of the Santa Cruz, and the warranty is just so awesome and makes this a dream bike for me. Coming in 4th place on my list is the Mondraker Crafty RRSL. This is a full-powered, lightweight e-bike with an MSRP of $16,499, probably the most expensive on this list. And the weight for this bike is 46 pounds for a full-powered e-bike. And the motor, of course, is a Bosch CX battery, 750 watt hour, a full lightweight e-bike. Coming in at 750 watt hour on a lightweight e-bike really makes this bike a dreamy e-bike to own. The suspension is a Fox Float DPS factory, and the fork is a Fox Float 36 factory. I think the suspension is a little bit too weak for this e-bike, but it probably, because of that, it saves on weight, and I wish they would have beefed this up a little bit. Weight, again, is 46 pounds, super light for a full fat e-bike, and the drivetrain is an XX1 AXS, all the way up there. The dropper is an AXS Reverb, DT Swiss, carbon wheels, probably the best looking lines on this list. I love the design of the lines coming in from the top tube all the way down to the chainstay. It's got one long line, which looks just fantastic. It's a full powered e-bike with really nice lines in a lightweight segment, which is just insane. So coming in at number 3 on my list is the Forestio Siren, a full 29-inch bike that costs €13,999, and that equates to $13,999. It equates to $15,475 USD, which is pretty expensive, but let's just check out the specs. So the motor is a Forestio Eon drive at 60 nanometers of torque, and the battery is a 350 watt hour battery. So it is a lightweight e-bike, and the weight is 40.6 pounds for a lightweight e-bike. By far the lightest e-bike out of today's group. And the travel is a 170 front, 170 rear, which is a pretty big travel bike. It's not small. The rear suspension is an Öhlins TTX Air, and the front fork is an Öhlins RX F36. We would expect a 38 millimeter stanchion for a 170. I've never ridden the Öhlins suspension before, and it looks absolutely awesome. And going down the list, the drivetrain is an X01 AXS and the dropper is a Reverb AXS. And the wheels are a Crank Brothers Synthesis Carbon. I think what makes this bike so unique to own is the 3.2-inch integrated high definition touchscreen right on the top tube. That thing looks super awesome. You have so many ways to customize your ride according to the website, and so much details that you can go into that touchscreen. No other bike companies are customizing that little touchscreen as much as Forestio is doing. They also have this dialed option, which is like an oil slick dialed line right across the bike. It looks so sick, and it's a true bike from the future. If you're enjoying today's content so far, please hit that like for me. It will definitely help this video get noticed in the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can support this channel on my Patreon page. Patreon members get to support my monthly group rides along with early access to my videos, and as well as behind the scenes of when I make my videos. I hope I can see you all on my Patreon page. Coming in second on my list of dream e-bikes to own is the Kenevo SL S-Work model. Cost of the Kenevo SL S-Works MSRP's at $1,500. Motor is a Bros 35mm torque. It's a lightweight bike. Battery is 320 watt-hour. Travel is 170mm front, 170mm rear, very much like the Forestio Siren. And the suspension is a Fox Float X in the rear and a Fox Float 38 in the front. Weight comes in at 44.6 pounds. The drivetrain is an XX1 Ego AXS. The dropper seat post is a RockShox Reverb with the AXS system. And for the wheels is a carbon Roval Traverse 29er. This is really one of the most dreamiest bikes on my list because I really do love the Enduro platform. I love the looks of the Enduro platform. And when I talk to people who own the Enduro platform and I ask them how this bike rides, everyone has good things to say about it. It pretty much can handle everything with that 170 front, 170 rear. And once they put a motor on it, I was completely sold. So if we look at what makes this so dreamy is first the color. The gloss oak green metallic with the satin black is just spot on and sexy AF. I believe Specialized has done a great job on the Mastermind display. It shows more than just the battery levels like the previous versions. It has the speed, it has the time, it has the assist levels all in that little one display, and it is connected to the Mission app, which allows you to control all the assist levels. It makes this bike a futuristic e-bike to have. Really why this bike is on the number 2 of my list. So the number 1 bike on this list is the Yeti 160E full 29er. Cost of this bike is $13,000, and we are on a Shimano EP8 motor, a 630 watt-hour battery with 170mm front travel and 160mm rear travel, and a rear suspension of Fox Float X2 factory and a Fox 38 for a front fork. Drivetrain of a Shimano XT and the dropper seat post of an AXS Reverb. Honestly, the least well-equipped e-bike on this list. What sets this bike apart from everything else is the Sixfinity suspension and the 6-bar suspension system. All Yeti owners will talk about how great it goes downhill and how great it goes uphill. And I'm pretty sure they've transferred that technology onto the e-bike, so I'm pretty sure this bike will take anything that you can give it, uphill, downhill. Then they have this feature that you can adjust the progressiveness of your suspension, which is just pretty insane R&D put into it. And because money is not an issue in this episode, I put this on the top of my list because I've never owned a Yeti before and I've always wanted to own one. And having such good feedback from the Yeti owners, I believe this is the top tier of all the bikes out there. With my recent eMTB race experience, I found racing to be very pleasurable and fun. And if this bike is built for pure racing, then I'm all in for it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It's been such a fun one to make. I want to hear from you guys on what your top 5 dream e-bikes are, so please leave a comment down below. So with that, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.